Imagine a world without tigers, elephants, or even the colorful songbirds that brighten our morning. This grim reality is closer than we think. Every year, countless species are pushed closer to extinction due to habitat loss, climate change, and poaching. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Ahmad Dzulfiqar bin Ahmad Rizal Afendi. My matrix number is 2023472168 and I'm from class ELC590 group 1. Today, let's talk about are zoos beneficial for animal conservation? In this world, ecosystems will collapse and the delicate balance of nature will be disrupted. The loss of such iconic species will not only mean the disappearance of majestic creatures but also the destruction of vital biodiversity that supports our environment. Are zoos beneficial for conservation? The answer is yes. Zoos are last line of defense against extinction, a lifeline amidst the challenge they face in the wild. Besides giving entertainment to people, zoos serve critical purpose, which is conservation. I will begin by telling you how do zoos help animals and the advantages. The need for action is clear. According to wild welfare, species such as the California condors have been saved from extinction thanks to zoo-based program. In the wild, these species face insurmountable challenge, which is loss of habitat, human interference, and dwindling populations. Zoos provide a sanctuary where these animals can be protected and nurtured, giving them a fighting chance to survive. Without zoos, many species will already be lost. The advantages of zoos are preserving biodiversity, which is one of the most vital roles of modern zoos, particularly as many species face extinction or are critically endangered in the wild due to factors like habitat loss, climate change, poaching, and disease. Zoos safeguard biodiversity by creating captive breeding programs that focus on breeding endangered species in controlled environments. These programs not only aim to increase population numbers but also emphasize genetic diversity. For example, Przewalski horse. Secondly, zoos provide valuable educational experience for children, adults, fostering a connection to wildlife and nature, often inspiring future conservationists. This educational role is crucial because it helps increasing awareness about the challenge that many species face in the world, as well as the importance of conservation efforts to protect these animals and their habitats. For example, Zoo Negara has several programs aimed at educating children and adults about conservation and animal welfare. One of the key programs in the Zoo Negara education program, which is included school visits, guided tours, and workshops. This program teaches students about animal biology, behavior, and conservation efforts both locally and globally. Thirdly, zoos generate funds that support conservation projects worldwide, aiding in research, habitat protection, and species recovery efforts. These funds are often generated through ticket sales, membership programs, donation, fundraising events, and special initiatives. The money raised by zoos is directed towards critical conservation work, both within the zoo and in wild habitats around the world. For example, at Zoo Negara in Malaysia, funds generated through entry fees, membership programs, and fundraising events support local conservation initiatives, particularly those focused on protecting endangered species such as Malayan tiger. Now, let's talk about how the zoos help conservation. Zoos primarily deal with three aspects of conservation, which is practice, advocacy, and research. The first one is conservation practice that entails captive breeding, species reintroduction programs, and the use of zoo revenue for conservation programs in the wild. One well-known example is the captive breeding and species reintroduction programs for California condor. In the 1980s, the California condor population had dwindled to just 27 individuals due to habitat loss, lead poisoning, and poaching. To prevent their complete extinction, A controversial decision was made to capture all remaining wild condors and begin to captive breeding program. Next, conservation advocacy includes public engagement, promoting awareness, advocating stewardship, and fundraising events and schemes. An excellent example of conservation advocacy is World Wildlife Fund, which is WWF, advocates for stewardship through its Adopt an Animal program, where people can symbolically adopt endangered species such as tigers, pandas, and elephants. The funds raised from this adoption go directly to conservation efforts, and adopters receive updates on the species they have supported. This program also helps build a sense of responsibility and connection between individuals and wildlife, motivating them to take action to protect these species. Moreover, conservation research is conducted on wildlife biology, population dynamics, animal behavior, health, and welfare, and there are also publications generated by zoos on animal care and captivity. An example for conservation research conducted on wildlife biology and population dynamics is the work done by the International Union for Conservation and Nature, which is IUCN, which conducts comprehensive research on the status of species around the world. One of their notable projects involved monitoring the population dynamics of the Javan rhinoceros, one of the most endangered species. Now, let's look at the challenge that zoos face and potential solutions. The first challenge is funding constraints affecting conservation efforts, which is referred to the financial challenges that zoos and conservation organizations face in carrying out their wildlife protection and breeding programs. Zoos only rely on mix of revenue sources such as ticket sales, memberships, donations, grants, and sometimes government support. The potential solution for the problem is publishing the conservation achievements through websites and social media allows zoo and conservation organizations to amplify their impact by reaching a wider and more diverse audience. Secondly, the difficult decision on which species to save arises because conservation efforts often have to be guided by limited resource, space, and funding. Zoos and conservation organizations face the challenging reality that they cannot save every endangered species, and prioritizing which ones to focus on becomes a necessity. The potential solution for the problem is prioritizing species based on endangerment, ecological role, and captive population viability. Species that are critically endangered, which with only a few individuals remaining in the wild, often receives the highest priority. Thirdly, natural disasters such as earthquakes, flood, and wildfires pose significant threats to the welfare of animals in both in the wild and in captivity. For zoos and aquariums, these events can cause immediate physical harm to animals, damage enclosure, disrupt food and water supplies, and lead to disruptions in daily care routines. In some cases, animals may be exposed to danger from collapsed habitats, debris, or even dangerous changes in their environment, such as extreme weather conditions that they are not accustomed to. The potential solution for this problem is strengthening infrastructure and disaster preparedness plans is critical for ensuring the safety of animals, staff, and visitors in the event of natural disasters. In conclusion, zoos are more than just places to see the exotic animals. They are pillars of conservation and education. By supporting zoos, we are contribute to a future where wildlife thrives and biodiversity is celebrated. Let us take action today to secure that future for generations to come. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good